some trepidation, some a little bit of apprehension. Like even though they've won 9 in a row, there's still that lingering memory of how the road has been to them. And I'm like, oh, please, please,
well,
get off to a good start here.
Remember last time when they were on that awful road trip they were on, we were looking at, like Cal's numbers and Julio's numbers, and everybody was, as far as individually, they were okay on the road. The numbers weren't bad. It was just that the team just didn't click. It didn't work together. The pitching it wasn't complimentary baseball, as Mike McDonald would probably say. So, yeah, I mean, you got some bad performances and bad outings from your pitching, and then, then the bats would go silent. It just kind of took turns. And
yeah, you couldn't get the complete game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd have a big offensive output night, and that would be the night the starters got rocked and didn't give you any length. Yeah. And then you'd get the night where the starters go 6 or 7, give you a quality start, keep you in the game, and the offense goes to sleep. And we saw the polar opposite of that during this 9-game road trip where, for the most part, yeah, you had some nights where the offense wasn't right there. Maybe the pitching didn't go as deep. But in totality, in the 9 games, it was a pretty complete effort. You had the bullpen.
Yeah.
The bullpen has been lights out. They have been ridiculous. The rotation has been good. The offense has been good. So, point being, they've done it. They've shown they can do it. Do it against a Royals team that's trending the wrong way. Carry some momentum into that Astros series. I mean, that is huge. Sunday Night Baseball, that is big. It's just win both series.
Yeah.
If you can sweep, awesome. I'm just bracing for the first loss, and I know that's a negative way of looking at it, but they've kind of conditioned us, at least me anyway, to expect that they're just going to win. That's what they do. They win. They've won 9 in a row. It's just so I'm not prepared to take a loss. It's going to feel like a body blow that just buckles your knees. Like, whoa, they lost. So I don't think it happens tonight. I like their chances tonight. I like them in this series. They could sweep the Royals, but weird things happen in Kansas City too. So we've seen it. I don't know. Well, maybe they'll buck the trend and they'll just blow through the Royals and go into Houston with a head of steam.
Well, I think the most encouraging thing going into this series is that, you're starting to see, we talked about how the pitching is just, the rotation's just not the same as it was last year. But the last few outings, has shown some signs of life and some signs of 2024, and so that starting rotation is starting to show up again. And we know it that, the only reason I always referred to it is because, like, it's a high water mark. Like, we know they can do it. It's not like it's out of their grasp. And they were doing that last year. But you look at some of the outings recently, pitching-wise, have just been fantastic. So allowing 6, I guess it was 12 runs in that 4-game series. But the last 3, they only gave up 6 runs, and it's the pitching has just been brilliant. So
you got
it.
Quality starts in 3 of the 4 games against the Angels, and the one that you didn't get the quality start, meaning Bryce Miller didn't get a full 6 in. He goes no walks, 11 strikeouts. Now he gave up 4 runs, which wasn't awesome, especially because they got out to a 4-0 lead in that game. He surrendered it, but he righted the ship and ended up looking dominant. I mean, striking out 11, walking none, I'll take that. Keep them in the game. And then the other guys all giving you quality starts and to varying degrees of success with strikeouts, 13 for Wu, 14 for Kirby, back-to-back quality starts for Luis Castillo. So now it's Logan Gilbert's turn because he had a nice stretch. He had 3 quality starts in a row before that St. Louis start where he only gave up 1 run, but he only gave you 4 2/3. So hopefully he can get this. You don't want to bust open the bullpen right there in the first game of the road trip. So hopefully he can give him some length. He can give you at least 6, maybe 7. You never know. And, the bullpen can sort of be used the way you anticipate them being used, with your starter giving you 6, and then you work your magic with the bullpen rather than, all right, he gave us 4, so we're going to have to cover a ton of innings.
Yeah, so we got Gilbert, Miller, and then Castillo going. And, Castillo, that's probably the best sign, I think, looking at the quality starts that he had, because we were starting to kind of think maybe this is it for Luis. Yeah. And I thought that was the most encouraging thing. And so he's in, game 3 of this series, I think he's pitching. So, yeah, that to me was I think the biggest relief. You know, and he's never been like a huge strikeout guy, but, you know, just limiting to just 3 hits and 1 earned run in both of those games against the Angels and the Braves. I mean, that was just a huge turnaround for him. And I don't know, I think if it had just been 1, I would still wonder, you know, what's going on with him, but he's done it his last 2 outings. Yeah. And I feel really good about him. And, you know, I don't know. I just thought it was going to come around eventually, and it looks like it is, just right at the perfect time.
Meanwhile, the lineup is rolling with just about everybody. Everybody feels like they're chipping in there, with the exception of one guy, Gino Suarez, who's 0 for his last 27. He's in the midst of a dreadful September, hitting a .135, a .224 on base, a .346 slug, of .570 OPS. I believe it's going to turn around. There's no real panic because everybody else is hitting for the most part. We saw Dom Canzone kind of come out of it. He was scuffling for a bit. He came out of it. JP was hitting. Obviously, Cal, Julio, Rosarena, everybody, Polanco's on fire. So you've got cover. You've got cover for a guy who you expect production from, who's not giving it to you currently. But we spoke with Ryan Rowland-Smith yesterday, and he talked about Gino's struggles and what he feels like could fix it during this road trip.
Getting out on the road and just taking some ace swings, get him a 2-0 count. Let's pay attention to that first, second, third at bat against the Royals, his first game. Get that 2-0 count. Just get that ace swing off, man. Don't try and process these at-bats. Chase a little bit. I don't care. Get aggressive. And he's so talented because of, you know, some of the home run numbers you mentioned. And just get back to whatever it needs to be. So when the time is right, whether it's heading into that Rockies or Dodgers series into the postseason, hopefully he just goes off, man. Because when he goes off, we know about that energy, and it's so much fun to watch. So I just think there's been kind of this lingering effect and a different perspective for him coming up back to the Mariners than what it was when he was here prior, or even being a D-back as well.
Yeah, you know, the whole phrase "he's due." I mean, yeah. I just think that it's never applied to anybody more than this, because one of the things we hear about Eugenio, and this was Dan Wilson basically saying that he's the same guy every day that he comes in, and so it's not like there's anything, I don't think, that's ever going to get him down. He's going to be the same person. He's going to come in. He's, 0 for 27? Is that right?
His last 27.
You got to pull up his game logs and just go look at it and go, this is ridiculous. I mean, come on, this guy is way too good of a hitter. I mean, he's got 45 home runs. So, and look, I know that it's more, it's about the average right now, and it's down to 226, but I mean, this is a guy that can hit. So, he's got to get a hit. And it's just one guy, you know, I mean, typically we would be seeing like a total power outage in the offense, and it's just him right now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jeff Passan on with Brock and Salk talking about what it is he expects from the Mariners Royals series.
The Mariners are running into the Royals in good time. They are banged up, and they are inconsistent as it gets when it comes to hitting. And I'm not saying that this streak is going to continue, because I'm done predicting anything with this freaking team. I'm done going out there and talking about how they're a World Series contender and then having to walk it back by calling myself bubonic plague. And then immediately after I determined that I was indeed the plague, they go out and win 9 in a row. This team doesn't make sense. I'm done trying to figure them out. I'm just going to sit around and enjoy watching them play baseball.
Welcome to our world, Jeff. That's what the season's like. As soon as you feel like you got a grip on who this team is, good or bad, they go the other direction.
Yeah.
So,
well, I can relate to him because, I mean, I think as broadcasters, you kind of sound like you're being arrogant, like it's all about me. Oh, because I did this and that. But the other day on Sunday when Jason Myers missed that field goal.
Yeah, you took a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, I did take credit for that, which is absolutely ridiculous. But, yeah, I mean, I understand how frustrating it can be, you know, as far as especially the Mariners. Right now, though, it's good.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. If we had that power, the Astros would never win another game in their existence. I would be using that power for good, which would be bad for them.
There was one person that could just funnel all the hatred and I don't want to say violence towards Houston. It would be Bob Stone.
Yeah. It's not going away. It's not dissipating. So, look, 6 games on the road. Give me 4. Give me 4 of them. I'll take more. I'll take 5 or 6. That'd be wonderful. And that's usually you go into a road trip going, hey, 6 games, we got to take 3. That's the minimum. But I feel like right now, just you got to keep pace with the teams around you. You got the Astros right there on your heels. Take 4 of 6. Take 4 of 6, and then you take your chances with the Rockies and the Dodgers at the end of the season.
That's fair. Yeah, that's probably what I would say. I mean, I'm trying not to do predictions because I'm not very good at it, and I usually get burned on that.
That means you don't know ball.
Yeah, I feel like they can take 2 of 3 from each of these teams.
Yeah, they're more than capable. It's just
especially
can they be the team they've been at home? Just buck the trend of who you've been on the road for whatever reasons. They're the same guys. It's the same lineup, same starters, but why they're so dramatically different on the road. I understand it's harder to win on the road in any sport. That's just the nature of it. I get that. But to the extent of which they've struggled, doesn't make a lot of sense. Meanwhile, Seahawks were able to get a huge win this weekend over the Steelers. And as we talked about, they did it without arguably their best player, period, in Devin Witherspoon. And they did it without Emmanwori, who, we both said the same thing yesterday. Like, yeah, I love the guy. He's maybe my favorite draft pick. I was most excited about, just seeing what he was able to do or going to be able to do. But the reality is we haven't been in the business of counting on him. So his absence doesn't bring about the reaction of, oh, no, now what? It's a bummer more than it's a detriment to what they established.
Yeah, well, it's such a shame too because his first play in the NFL, he comes in and I don't know if that was his first snap, but the first time he made a play, it was just brilliant. And it was what we've been seeing from him out at camp and all during the preseason. And I mean, we don't really know who he is. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
Right? And look, I don't care how good a rookie is and what kind of season he's having. You still got to consider that. So, yeah, not having Emmanwori out there, it's going to hurt, but it's not even on the same level as not having Devin Witherspoon out there.
Yeah.
Because Spoon, this is his 3rd year, and he is just such a huge part of what they do. And then just, somebody else is going to have to step in if he doesn't play to kind of bring the juice to that team because he's one of those guys that, but you know what? He was on the sidelines, and I saw him down there, and he was talking to everybody and chirping and, making sure everybody was ready and all that stuff. So, I mean, the effect will still be there, but you got to have him out on the field. And, I think as much as I like Emmanwori, he's still a rookie. And, I think the bigger loss by far is not having Devin Witherspoon out there.
Without question. Yeah. Mike McDonald yesterday talking about Witherspoon, giving a bit of an injury update.
From what I understand, Spoon has a MCL bruise or a contusion. That's the latest on him.
So bruise, contusion to the MCL.
The end.
And then he was asked whether Witherspoon and Emmanwori could play even if they don't practice all week.
Look, anytime you're talking about possibly going on a game without practicing, that's a dangerous game to play, not one we want to play consistently. I think with Spoon, he's probably a guy that we'd be more inclined to do that with, and probably not so much with Nick. Nick probably needs more reps than Spoon right now, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes on Wednesday and Thursday with those two.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about there, and that that makes sense, makes perfect sense. But I think also, though, he still likes having guys out there practicing. The only thing is, Devin Witherspoon, every time I see him, he is so dialed in. Like, he's one of those guys that pays attention at practice more than anybody. The times I've seen him not practice, which aren't very often, and the other day at the game, I was purposely, keeping my binoculars on him down on the sidelines. I mean, He's taken every rep mentally. He's one of those guys that he just loves football, and so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But I still think that Mike kind of has a little bit of a rule of like, hey, you have to have been out there in practice and know what everybody else is doing around you.
Yeah, which makes sense, specifically to Emmanwori. But one of the other things we talked about yesterday, and something I brought up with you before, and we brought it up with Mark Schlereth, is looking at the defensive line, most notably the edge rushers for the Seahawks. You've got guys that are good. You've got guys that you look at and go, hey, man, Boye can be a problem. And Derek Hall can be a problem. And Uchenna can be a problem. But to me, collectively, they're good. I don't feel like they've got a great pass rusher. They don't have the extra meeting guy, as you term it, as I see it currently. Now, maybe one of these guys develops into that. But we asked Mark about that. Do you see somebody there that, as far as edge rushers go? We know Leonard Williams is obviously a guy you have to account for, but as far as a guy coming off the edge, that traditional pass rusher, Do they have that guy? Here's what Mark said.
And I think in today's NFL, especially in today's NFL, it's the edge guys. When you don't have an edge guy that truly threatens the offensive tackles, that truly threatens the pass rush, you feel pretty good about, hey, man, like we can survive this. We can go 5 one-on-ones. We can get 5 guys out in the pattern. You know, we used to call them war daddies. If you don't have a war daddy, it's an advantage for the offense that way. So I think Leonard is one of those guys that, you know, you have to be aware of. But you can slide to him, vice him inside a little bit. It's the edge presence that you don't have a guy that just whips people off the edge and where you have to chip and where you have to, you know, get tight ends over there or you have to slide that direction. And so Seattle's not the only team that doesn't have one of those guys. There's a bunch of teams that don't have them.
Well, he's just talking about it on the edge, right?
Because, and that's what I was talking about. Is you know, they thought Darrell Taylor could be that guy. He wasn't that guy. Cliff was that guy. He was a problem.
Yep.
Michael Bennett could be that guy at times. I mean,
Frank Clark was one.
Yeah,
one
Frank
season.
Clark.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, even back to Red Bryant.
Yeah.
Remember they put him on the edge at times. Obviously a different method there, but I just don't feel like they've got that guy yet. Again, maybe I'm certainly allowing for Boye to develop into that, or Derek Hall, or Chenna, and I think they're all good. But do you look at that as a bit of an impediment that they don't really have, as he calls it, the war daddy?
Yeah, well, I mean, I always thought he meant, when he said war daddy, he meant like the big guy inside that has to be double teamed every time. But yeah, I mean, as far as on the edge, if that's what he's calling it, yeah, you have, like you said, there's 4 guys there that, you know, you could throw DeMarcus Lawrence in there. The other thing is, and I wonder if they start to use Leonard Williams a little bit more that way, because they've got some big dudes inside like Jay Reed and Murphy, and Leonard can rush off the edge. He can rush anywhere you put him along that line. So I don't know, maybe they start to move him out and get some production there. But I think you're right about, like, last year I really thought we were going to see a huge jump. I love Boye Mafe's game. I think he's a great player, but I thought he was going to take like a big jump. Not so much with Derek Hall, just because I think he's kind of one-dimensional, but really when he's a power guy, right? Yeah. And same thing with Uchenna. But yeah, I just think if you put all of those guys together, including DeMarcus Lawrence out on the edge, I don't think that position is left wanting, you know. But do you have a guy that's going to come off the edge and get 15 or 16 sacks? It doesn't look like it right now.
Yeah,
you know, but
you don't have Watt or Bosa or Max Crosby, or you don't have one of those guys.
Yeah, but I think together you can kind of, you know, build that with that position, and maybe it's, you know, Boye getting 8 or 9 sacks and Derek Hall getting 8 or 9 sacks, you know, I mean, just all kind of chipping in. But yeah, as far as the threat on the edge, like you said, you mentioned Bosa and those kind of guys. I mean, no, not really right now anyway.
All right, let's take 2.
Something to watch in Houston during this Rangers-Astros series. So Yordan Alvarez twisted his ankle in the first inning yesterday, left the game. He was on crutches in the clubhouse. His replacement, though, a rookie, Zach Cole, drove in 3 runs. The Astros did win last night, but Alvarez is not in the lineup tonight, and they're waiting the results of an MRI.
Yeah, I saw the highlight. It was when he stepped on home plate, and I don't know if he rolled it. I couldn't see his foot or if he slipped.
It just kind of tweaked a little bit.
Yeah, and he was just limping. And then I was reading one of the reporters I follow from Houston talking about they had to help him down the stairs. Like, he couldn't walk down the stairs of the clubhouse on his own. So, and then he was wearing a boot after the game. So we'll see what goes on with him. But that's potentially a very big, even though Cole came up big for him last night, I don't know that you rely on him the way that you do Alvarez, certainly.
What was the Jerry Seinfeld line? Did you tweak it? Did you twist it? Was it was it a tweak or a,
yeah?
I mean, it looked like just a little subtle thing there, but isn't that the way it goes with them? Yordan Alvarez twists his ankle. Rookie comes in, drives in 3 runs.
Of course.
Big man, bigger ankles. Didn't you guys talk about that one time? Ligaments.
We did, yeah. Somebody brought up the fact that because he twisted his ankle's a lot bigger than like a smaller player. And I'm like, I think his body knows that his ankle is bigger. It's all relative, basically. You're used to it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of injuries, the Rams put starting cornerback Ahkello Witherspoon, a former Seahawk there, on IR with a broken collarbone. He's expected to be out around 3 months. And then Sean McVay was injured as well. He mentioned yesterday that he tore his plantar fascia during their game on Sunday.
Yeah, his quotes are pretty funny. I was reading that story this morning, and he was talking about, I kind of, hobbling around out there. Good news is it's torn, so that I guess it heals quicker if it tears completely. But he's like, even better news, I don't have to play.
Yeah.
So he goes, I'm going to have a cool limp. It adds to my swag or something like that. He's having fun with it.
Yeah, it's funny. I saw the scroll in the NFL, and it said McVay injured, and I was like, did they have a player named McVay?
Yeah. Either that or the play came to the sidelines and he got taken out or something. But, yeah.
We used to replay those all the time. We had this one coach that would always, run to contact. If he would just stand still, he would not get run over on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And he would, inevitably, intersect with the person coming out of bounds. It was just stand still.
He just wanted to be a part of it, man.
George Dyer, our defensive line coach, and he would always get taken out on the sidelines, and they would always put together a highlight film of George getting taken out. It's hilarious. But I know McVay is probably incredibly embarrassed about it.
Seems like he's having fun with it, though.
Yeah,
he's joking.
He's handling it well.
Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Meanwhile, what will it take to keep Josh Naylor here after the season? We'll get into that coming up next with Wyman and Bob on your home for the Mariners playoff push, Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
They're baseball's hottest team.
Cal Raleigh will score. Here comes Julio. He's racing home around third. He's going to score standing. 2 more on the board for the Mariners.
Winners of 9 in a row.
Strike 3 called. Got him. Fire. George Kirby, strikeout number 13.
Up next, the first of 3 in Kansas City. Tonight, first pitch at 4:40. Pregame at 3:30.
Everybody on their feet.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife, and September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And on average, 1 in 8 men in the U.S. will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lifetime. Many treatments are available, especially locally, but I recently spoke with someone who underwent treatment for prostate cancer in February. It's Tim Hunter. He's a lifelong local radio host, and Tim underwent Swedish Cyberknife treatment the week right after the Super Bowl, and it was literally a week. All it took was 5 days in a row, with each session lasting less than an hour. And he chose Swedish Cyberknife because it was only 5 days of treatment versus several months with other treatments. And on top of that, Swedish Cyberknife has by far the least interruption on his daily life. No surgery, no catheter, and the recovery was incredibly quick. And Tim heard about the Cyberknife treatment from our radio commercials right here on this show. So just like you are hearing right now. So if you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. And remember, you don't need a physician's referral. Again, that's swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Hey man, gaining weight, dragging throughout the day, losing your drive? It could be your testosterone. The team at Revive Men's Health Washington gets men back on track with the energy and drive they've been missing. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations and witness to hundreds of success stories.
I've seen guys come in worn out, discouraged, and just not themselves. A few months into treatment, they're standing taller, speaking with more confidence. It's like watching someone come back to life, like a light switch gets turned back on. The spouse says, "Thank you. I really have my partner back, better than before." That's the moment it all clicks for me, and that's why I do what I do.
Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has helped more than 120,000 men regain their energy and drive. Start your story today with an in-clinic visit or a secure video appointment. Call 206-529-1111 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 206-529-1111 or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a main view home. Now imagine a Mainview home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought?
Yeah, it's a Mainview, and they saved a bundle.
What are you doing?
Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a Mainview home? A Mainview home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures. Until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at PCF Construction. It was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476. PCFgroup.com.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Mariners getting set to begin their road series this afternoon against the Kansas City Royals. Game 1 of their 3-game series coming your way this afternoon. We'll turn you over to the pregame show at 3:30, 4:40 first pitch. Logan Gilbert on the hill. Can't wait for this game, this road trip. As much as I'm looking forward to it, I want it to be over too. I don't want the season to end because it's been fun and I absolutely love baseball, but I just kind of want to get through this road trip and hopefully get through it successfully.
You want to fast forward through it?
Yeah, I've got anxiousness.
Record all the games and just.
Yeah, kind of. This is when I'd want to know the results in advance and then go back and watch. I don't need to be surprised.
I feel pretty good, man. I don't want to be the spoiler, but
that's not being a spoiler.
I feel pretty good.
Oh, you don't want to jinx it. You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, because I have that power.
Now
you saw it the other day.
Now people are going to remember you said it. What you just said. I feel pretty good about it, and then bad things happen. They're going to go, oh, now what, Dave? Nice call, Dave.
Yeah, and then I'll just say, well, I wasn't entirely into it, that prediction. But
I wasn't super passionate about it.
I'm just like everybody else, hopeful.
Yep. Hey, look, hopeful. Based on the way they've been playing, they should do just fine. Yeah. They should do just fine, but it's baseball. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Josh Naylor has been an absolute bright spot for this team. not just at the plate. We've talked about his demeanor. We've talked about how his teammates seem to love him, his presence in that clubhouse. His defense at first base has been spectacular. He just, I keep saying he just fits. He just fits. He just is the right. He loves hitting at T-Mobile. He thinks it's easy. He calls it a hitter's park. I mean, have they ever had somebody from the outside come to this organization and say that? I've never heard it if they have.
Well, and if he's just joking around or just trying to pander to the fans or whatever, he sure disguised it well, because it just seems like that's exactly what he thinks. And that's the thing about him. You know, we got a chance to talk to him, but you see him interviewed every now and again, and he's very direct. He's kind of a.
I don't think he jokes around much.
I don't think he does either.
I don't think he was sarcastic with any of his. I think he's literal. Like, this is what I think.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about his sense of humor. I was going to compare him to like Mike McDonald, but Mike McDonald has a really hilarious sense of humor. Whereas I just think Josh Naylor is very serious about everything, but I don't think he ever gives you a BS answer ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that's what endears him to people. But also, I think it also is a necessary element that they need on this team.
Yeah,
it's just he's just different than everybody else on the team, and
I don't think they have
the same. But
I don't think they have another player like that. They have pitchers like that. Woo's kind of got an edge to him these days. Kirby's got an edge to him.
Yeah,
but as far as a position player, you don't really have that guy. Garver is kind of like that, but he's not an everyday player.
Yeah,
Naylor is a nice balance to it, because you got look, Gino is struggling. That's fine. He brings an element that is needed in that clubhouse. Those guys adore him. They love him in that club. The city loves him.
Yeah.
So that good vibes only, lightness, that's needed. Julio is always smiling, man. That guy just loves playing the game. He's having fun. Nobody cheers on their teammates more than he does. But there's a lightness to him too, as far as position players go. And it's kind of that way to varying degrees throughout the lineup. Naylor's kind of the one exception to that in a good way. That I think, you kind of needed it as far as position players. But we had him on. We talked to him in late August, and he said this a couple times now since this conversation, but this is where he was talking about his impression of this Mariner fan base.
The fan base is crazy. It's like almost electric. You can sometimes like feel the ground shaking a little bit when, something cool happens. But I just try to play baseball. I just like to wake up, come to the field, work hard, win the game, go home, repeat. But I mean, so far the fan base has been awesome. Even my family says they're incredible and probably one of their favorites that they've had in my career. So they love coming here now just to kind of be a part of this atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be big, right? If your family's loving it, you're loving it. You love hitting here. They love coming here. I mean, it's anything in the positive column is a good thing. And we heard the cut from Jerry talking on that podcast about we've got interest. We think he's got interest now. What are the numbers going to be? That's the question I've been wondering, because I don't really know. He signed a deal just under $11 million for this one season with Arizona. So is that going to be 13 a year, 14 a year? Well, Jeff Passan was on with Brock and Salk, and he throws out the contract value that he thinks it may take to sign Naylor.
I think Naylor, in my head, as somebody who just loves the player and loves the all-around game now. Didn't think I would ever be saying that about Josh Naylor, but loves the lack of strikeouts, the bat to ball, the ability to drive in runs. But he's a corner bat without elite power. So in my head, I want to say 4 for 80, right? 20 a year for 4 years. You get him for 2 seasons in his 20s. There's real allure to that.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at those numbers, but I mean, I think you would also pay a little bit of a premium for just what he brings to the clubhouse, and that's a huge part of it. And I know that they value that. You have to say that the Mariners, I mean, they've whiffed on a few in the in the off season and some of the signings, and just like everybody else, but for the most part, they've done a really good job of bringing in the right guys, the right fit on the team, and I think that also would boost up the offer a little bit.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking. I'm sure they had something in mind, a ballpark, like, all right, this is probably what it's going to take. Here's what, or maybe this is where we can go with his salary. It's going to be somewhere between this number and this number. What those are, I have no idea. But I'm sure they didn't go into this just blindly going, well, let's just Bring him in. We'll worry about that later, and maybe we can re-sign him. I think they thought about that before they made the move because they've got other moves they've got to make. Randy Arozarena is a free agent. Got to bring Randy back. I mean, I don't know what your options are if you're going to get rid of him. He's been a crucial part of this lineup, and yeah, his game is not perfect. Nobody's is. He's not the best outfielder in baseball, certainly. I don't love him in the leadoff spot. I don't think that's where they'd ultimately want him to be. I'd like him a little lower to do some damage with runners on base, but yeah, I feel like he's a guy who fits here. Julio seems to have a great relationship with him. And it just seems like he fits in that clubhouse as well. So you got a couple of guys that, are going to be free agents that are key to what you're trying to get done here, that are young guys. They're not, as he said, 2 of those years for Naylor will be still in his 20s. So we're not talking about an old guy coming over here and you're once again trying to wring the sponge dry and hope there's something left in the tank. You're getting these guys at the right time.
Well, it's funny when you mention his age because he is so much like he sounds like a 35-year-old baseball player.
Yeah.
He's got the old soul. What do you think about
He's
the timing?
28.
Yeah, 28. But the timing, what about getting it done before the playoffs? Or do you think they would ever do anything like that?
I don't even know if they would call in his reps. Maybe calling them and say, hey, once this is all done, let's sit down. Whenever the season ends for us, hopefully it's a World Series, obviously, but whenever it ends, let's plan on we get down to business. I don't know where they're located, but let's fly and meet each other and hammer this out. We'd love to bring them back. We'd love to see what you're thinking. Get the ball rolling immediately. I wouldn't wait for other teams to start jumping into the fray and start, driving the price up or, you see something shiny over here. I never thought about playing in that city. That could be cool. Don't let them leave. Be proactive. But I can't imagine they're hammering out a deal right now with 12 games left in the season and, the playoffs on the horizon. I'm guessing everybody's focused on what's at hand there. Meanwhile, it was a tough Monday on multiple fronts for the Mariners. We'll catch you up on everything happening around the playoff race coming up next with Wyman and Bob on your home for the first place Seattle Mariners, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. He's shooting. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Dave Wyman here, and since I stopped playing football, we've been fortunate to live in the same house for over 20 years. That type of longevity is a good thing, except 20 years in the same house means a lot of things start to break. Most recently, it's our windows. Virtually every seal has broken, and that's why I reached out to Harley Exteriors. They're local, they're huge fans of our teams, and big listeners to the station. Better yet, they have the best product. Olympic Series windows offered exclusively through Harley Exteriors are manufactured in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. To celebrate the start of football season, the guys at Harley Exteriors are offering no interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off. And take another $200 off your entire project. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY. Or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident Book Series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, coming up at 3 o'clock, our conversation with A.J. Barner of your Seattle Seahawks. Stay tuned for that one. The text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. Had a couple people check in and correct me, and they're right. Rosaranda's got one more year of arbitration left, so he'll be a free agent after the 26th season. So we'll see if the Mariners try to avoid arbitration, sign him to a multi-year deal, or if they just extend him for that 1 year, to pick up that year and come to it. They settled on 11-3 for the salary in 2025 to avoid salary arbitration. So we'll see if they do the same thing for 2026.
Yeah, I was going to check you on that. But
yeah, I knew you knew it, Dave, but you just you were shaking me off going, no, that's not right, Bob. That's not right. He's got one more year of arb left. Meanwhile, some things going on around Major League Baseball. The Astros beat the Rangers last night 6-3. So they creep to within a half game of the Mariners in the AL West. Mariners still in first place. We talked about this before, that Yordan Alvarez suffered an ankle injury, and it was hard to see what he did. It was when he was crossing home plate, so I couldn't the video I saw didn't zoom in on the ankle or anything. I couldn't tell if he rolled it or what the heck happened. But as soon as he hit the plate, he was limping away. But it sounds like, Chandler Rome, who covers these Astros beat writer for The Athletic, he tweeted out that Yordan Alvarez has in quotes, pretty significant left ankle sprain that will keep him out, in quotes, out for a while, Joe Espada said. So I guess I wouldn't expect to see him in the Mariners series, which, again, we always talk about it. You're not rooting for guys to get hurt, but I'm not going to miss him. It doesn't hurt my feelings that he won't be there.
Are you sure that you're not rooting for him to get hurt?
Nah, he wasn't there for all the
Alvarez,
shenanigans.
Yeah. He's hard to.
I just don't like facing him because he's so damaging, and he's the one that Robbie Ray, that whole thing.
Yeah. But
you don't
even want to talk about it.
I really don't.
Yeah, but I mean, this is kind of the way it's gone for the Astros, though. The rookie, as we talked about in take 2, Zach Cole comes in, drives in 3 runs. I don't know. They have. You got to admit they've done a really good job of dealing with their injuries.
Yeah, he's been out for a majority of this year, and they've been occupying first place for the majority of the year without him.
But yeah, I mean, if you go and look at their list of the guys that have gone on the IL, I mean, it's just been they obviously it's a good organization as far as getting talent, because they're bringing guys up all the time, and lots of times when you've got injuries and somebody just fills right in, and they're one game back in the AL West, but they've been leading most of the year, and they've been getting hurt pretty much all year. So yeah, I mean, that's one thing I'll say about the organization. That they sure do a good job with their talent.
All right, that's enough.
Okay,
one more from Chandler Rome. I just saw this. He said, Yordan Alvarez remains on the Astros active roster. Asked whether he would go to the IL, Espada said, quote, "Did you just hear what I said? This is going to take some time. Listen, one day at a time. I'm not going to give you days, weeks, or what we're doing next." Sounds a little agitated.
Yeah, he does.
Did you just hear what I said? So, maybe he's feeling like, man, another injury I've got to deal with. This is insane. But Astros are a team that still worry me. Look, they've been without Alvarez. The majority of their rotation has been hurt at one point or another. Altuve was hurt for a bit. Pena was hurt for a bit. I mean, it's just anybody you looked at as a key member of that team seems like they've spent time on the IL. And they found ways around it. Maybe this is the final nail. Maybe this is just something they can't overcome right now. I don't know. But
speaking of that, by the way, you ever get tuned up like that in a press conference from either a coach or a player or whatever?
Not in a press conference. I had Lou get sideways with me before.
Yeah.
That's when he called me son.
Is that right?
Yeah. And
was it just you and him, or
no? It was the group. It was the group in his office, and that's when he asked me how long I had been managing. And I said, "Well, Lou, I've never managed." All right. That's all I said. It's just like I could feel sweat beads are forming. I'm like looking around. I was probably turning beet red as soon as he said that. Oh boy!
I'll tell you what. I had twice where Pete and they were both in like kind of private meetings. Like one was a production meeting, and another one was there. It was like a group thing with the pregame and postgame show, and where I asked him a question. One was about something about being involved in the defense, and he got sideways with me on that. He's like he didn't say anything personal, but you could tell he was mad. And then there was another time I asked about, possibly throwing a little bit more because Russ is getting better. I mean, do you think it's going to start to evolve that way? And he goes, "That's offensive to me." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend anyone." But
at least it was more of a private situation.
Yeah.
When you're in front of the whole group of media, everybody looks at each other like, "Ooh,
yeah,
you got it." You see that? Meanwhile, other news: Kyle Schwarber hit another home run. He is one behind Cal. Hit his 53rd home run of the season last night. And that's, we've talked about this before as far as the MVP race goes. I just think there's a certain amount of shine and luster to being the guy that led all of Major League Baseball in home runs. So understanding that the MVP race is not between Cal and Schwarber, they're in different leagues. But I think having the notoriety of saying, yeah, this guy, Cal Raleigh, led all of Major League Baseball in home runs is a huge feather in his cap when voters are considering they're debating Judge, Raleigh, Judge, Raleigh. What are we doing? Well, here are the attributes. Here are the categories for Judge. Here's what Cal Raleigh did in addition to what he does behind the plate and the beating and the demand of that premium position he plays. He also led all of Major League Baseball in home. I just feel like that's a big thing. Not that look, if he ends with 57 and Schwarber ends with 59, is that going to knock him out? No, I think it's just more of a surface thing, just to be able to say it. To be able to say, all right, one guy leads the entire league, the other guy does this, and then let's compare notes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
effectively, I'm rooting against Schwarber. And he's not even in competition with Raleigh for the MVP, but he is in his league. But I just want Cal to be the leader.
Yeah, same here. And look, and not even if it's not the MVP chase, even if it's just that season, because you want it to be magical.
Yeah, that
really
distinction is a big deal.
Yeah, and remember he wins the home run derby, and he's got the video of when he was a little kid and all of that, and just it would definitely take the luster off of it. Kyle Schwarber, I mean, he's not somebody that I hate or root against or anything like that. I mean, he's an awesome player, but
until now,
yeah. I mean, it would just be so anticlimactic, if that were to happen. I think it would bother me more than because at first
probably more than it would bother Cal.
Yeah,
I don't think he cares.
I'll tell you what, I think you're exactly right. Yeah, it wouldn't bother Cal either. He'd be like, oh, well, I mean, he's available to do that if he wants to hit home runs. So
I think he'll be happy if they make the playoffs. They make a run through the playoffs. He doesn't lead the league in home runs. I think he's going to be like, that's for the fans. That's
I think he has made it very clear that he wants to win. He wants to get in the playoffs. He wants to win a world championship. That's all he is focused on. So yeah, I don't think that's going to bother him at all.
Yeah, I wish, we've talked to Morosi, and he talks about how the votes rotate every year. So he's voted for MVP before. He's not this year. But I'd love to talk to some other people that have voted for that. Like, how much would that impact your debate between Judge and Cal? If Cal led the league, led all of baseball in home runs versus, he was 2 behind the eventual guy, Schwarber. Would that change your vote at all? Am I overthinking this, or is that going to be something, everybody feels like there's an East Coast bias, so I that's where I start going, okay, well, that thing, there's a distinction to that I think is really big. And if somebody's on the East Coast and they're leaning toward Judge, but they're looking at this catcher who led the entire league in home runs, maybe that sways them a bit. I don't know. It'd be interesting to talk to some people that have voted for that award before and just what swayed you? Why'd you go this way versus this way if it was close? And maybe most years it's not that much of a debate.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of funny, I hear like the talk about average creeping back in there, and I wonder if that's kind of generated because Aaron Judge is leading the entire major leagues in average, and maybe it's like, hey, this is really a good stat. It's a big stat now. All of a sudden, you're hearing more about batting average, whereas in recent years it's been more about OPS and home runs and
tells part of the story.
Strikeouts.
Tells part of the story for sure.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, what does AJ Barner call the Seahawks version of the Tush Push? We're going to hear that when he joins us next right here. It's Wyman and Bob on your home for the Mariners playoff push. Seattle Sports on 710.
I will say this too, Saul. You're right on baseball a lot.
Brock and Salk.
But I think you're wrong on something.
Morning 6 to 10.
Are you willing to listen and take some constructive feedback and criticism?
Maybe.
Your thought that anybody can play first base. Josh Naylor's first base is different, bro.
Yeah.
His ability to pick anything and everything thrown his way. Everything. And he's had to do it in some clutch moments, in some big moments.
Brock and Salk. Morning 6 to 10. Only on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99. And we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Goodbye baseball. Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper.
The Mariners postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Homestretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees.
Strike 3 call. Triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
You can use your credit however you want. Go big with club seats for a couple high-stakes showdowns, or stretch it out until the final series against the Dodgers. And the best part? Homestretch Flex members get priority access to our postseason pre-sale. That means you're first in line when October comes calling. The team is locked in.
J.P. Crawford! Game winner, walk-off fashion in the 9th inning.
And now it's time to bring the energy down the stretch. Come on board today at mariners.com/homestretch. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Transforming your land with a John Deere compact tractor is as easy as connect, latch, load, haul, spread. Cutting grass is as simple as roll, click, mow. Box blading is as effortless as hook, lock, grade. And backhoeing is as convenient as turn around, switch, dig. Because when you've got the versatility to tackle just about any job and dealer support in your own backyard, you just have to get in the seat. Find the right compact tractor for you at johndeere.com.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire Stone Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners and Royals getting things started today. The final road trip of the regular season for your Seattle Mariners begins in Kansas City this afternoon with Logan Gilbert taking the hill. He faces off against Michael Wacha. It all starts at 3:30 right here with the pregame show. 4:40 first pitch, Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, one final in the books today. Braves beat the Nationals 6-3. Still to come, Astros and Rangers continued their series. Astros taking game 1 in that one. See what goes on in game 2 without Yordan Alvarez, who is out. He was being diagnosed with a significant left ankle sprain and will be out of the lineup for a while as the Astros are battling with the Seattle Mariners for the American League West. Manager Joe Espada getting a little short with the media today, saying this is going to take some time. We're taking it one day at a time. I'm not going to give you days, weeks. What we're going to do next is going to be here.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman Bob
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Big day for the Seahawks, pulling off a really big win over the Steelers on the road. And a man who got some action out there, a guy we've been clamoring for, Dave. Get this guy the ball. Would you please get him the ball? He's with us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Tight end A.J. Barner is with us. How are you, man?
Doing well. It's good to be on here.
Well, it's good to talk to you, and it was good to see you get the ball a few times. It was, we've been screaming about that, and it was good to see the ball get spread around in a way that maybe it didn't in the first game. Was there a concerted effort to make that part of the offensive game plan, or is that just, hey, look, things went the way they did in game 1, and this game just allowed us to do that?
For sure. I'm just glad to get the win. But yeah, those things happen when you're playing good football. Guys get a bunch of touches, and yeah, you get it to me, I'll probably, especially in the red zone, I think it's a good look down there.
Hey, AJ, what should we call this tush push where you line up under center? I think we called it the grunge plunge or something like that. We got to get some kind of a new way to name that. But tell us about that play and just how you came about to be the guy that's going to take the snap there.
Yeah, a little barn push, I guess. I don't know. But,
barn push?
They just kind of, I feel like I fit the mold for that on our team, kind of the guy that you'd go to for something like that. So it's cool, and honestly, I have to play for the O-line. They kind of do all the dirty work there, and really I just fall forward, and Charbonnet actually gave me a nice push in the back too. So just take the snap, secure the ball, get what you can, and my body should be able to fall forward for a yard or two.
Yeah, I that's another topic of conversation, AJ, as we've just talked about that play in general and how there are some teams that want to ban it and that's not football. And I'm thinking, well, why? Because you can't stop it, so that's why you want to ban it? What was, before you were the guy getting the ball and being involved in that, what was your opinion on that play?
Yeah, I don't play D-line or nose tackle, so I don't know. I get it in a sense. Like, you see the Eagles run it, and it is somewhat unstoppable, but hey, it's football, so it is what it is. And shoot, if I'm the one getting it, I'm going to keep it around. Yes, keep it around for a long time.
Hey, AJ, we talked at the end of last year, and you talked about coming back your second year, and I'm just curious because I totally see it from you that it just kind of clicked for you this year. Tell us, you had a great rookie year. But, how did you feel coming in this year, and did you feel some of those things that we talked about?
Yeah, it's kind of week to week. Last week, I feel like as a team and myself, we didn't really play too well. I didn't show up in the stat sheet at all. Was there out there blocking. This week had a solid week, and it's really still scratching the surface for myself, honestly. And like I said at the start of the call, I just want to win at the end of the day, but I continue to make, more strides to become a really good tight end in this league. And the biggest thing is the confidence. I know I can do that, and I know I can do that today. And now it's a matter of, obviously let's win every game, but, I want to have big games coming up. So it's really just a confidence thing. Now what your role is and how it can be exemplified in these games.
Was there anything, AJ, that they told you at the end of the season, hey, we'd like you to get, work on this part of your game, or work on this that part, or we want you to get bigger or smaller, or anything you took upon yourself to change in the offseason?
Yeah, I think just getting bigger a little bit. You know, I was big last year, but not as big as I am right now, and just sturdy and whatnot. And biggest thing is the consistency for the type of role that I play too. You know, like you have to be really detailed to be able to do the run game over and over, and the pass pro over and over, and then run a route. You know, so the mental fortitude too, to be able to lock in and know my assignment on each play and just like stay present, because you know it's all those little details that go into the job of your play that really get it done. So I think that, you know, just really staying locked in mentally and physically throughout the whole game to play complete games.
I feel like the Seahawk tight end room has always been pretty solid. I mean, over the years, and now you got Eric Saubert in there and Elijah Arroyo. Sometimes I guess Brady Russell, maybe Robbie Oots even a little bit. But tell us about that room.
Yeah. You know, it's a really great room. Elijah is one of my best buds on the team, and, you know, like, I'm really excited for him. He's a really, really talented player, and we complement each other really well. There's some things that he does that I can't do, and vice versa. So I'm really excited that he's here and really excited for his future. And then Saubert, you know, a guy that's been in the league for a while now, just a really good veteran presence for our room. Leadership, keeping us grounded, and just making sure we got the right mindset day to day and going into games. And then, Brady and Oots, they're definitely a part of our room too, and all of us being able to contribute. We also have Nick Callerup, who is on the 53 as well. So our coach, Mac Brown, does a really tremendous job of getting all of us ready, and it's a tight-knit group. And, you know, Clint, you know, has a strong history of tight ends, and we got a nice little room of them.
Hey, as far as this offense goes, AJ, how different is it from what you were doing last year?
It's different. Different run schemes, I would say, like different footwork involved to the run schemes, different angles to it. You know, we were last year a lot in the shotgun, this year a lot more under center. But, you know, I'm a big fan of it, and obviously there's some things that, you know, continue to need to be ironed out. It's a work in progress. It's not going to be perfect right at the start of the year. It should be perfect, but, you know, it's never going to be. But, yeah, I just think the little details and the rules to the run plays that we have just need to be learned and set in stone for myself, too. Just knowing week to week, like no matter what the defense is, if I know the rules on this play, then I can have the answers to what they're presenting in front of me. So that's a big thing.
AJ, tell us about that Steeler defense. It looked like, I mean, first of all, their linebackers, I think, are four of the best. But, you know, it looked like they were bringing lots of pressure and they kind of sell out on certain plays. What was difficult about that Steeler defense that you guys beat?
Yeah. I mean, real good defense. They got a lot of really good players over there. Cam Hayward doing it for a long time, TJ Watt, Highsmith, etc. Got really good players, but, you know, honestly, we took it to them, and that's what needs to be done from here on out. You know, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, so I grew up watching those Steelers teams, and they're like physical teams, obviously, and like that's our job now. Like that's what the Seahawks are going to be. So obviously got a lot of respect for them, but in this 1 week, and we need to move on. But, you know, I felt like we handled business.
Hey, tell us about working with Sam Darnold, because obviously you were with Geno Smith last year. Sam Darnold comes in and coming off a great season with the Minnesota Vikings. But how different has that been? How do you feel like you guys have a rhythm, or is that something you're still developing? How's that going?
Going good. Yeah, I mean, I think Sam's done a really good job, really consistent player, knows football very well, knows the offense very well, great leader for our offense. And I'm really excited for what we have going here. I think he's going to have a really great year. It's good what we got.
Hey, AJ, your personality, you're a guy, I was telling the guys, you ask questions. You ask a lot of questions, and a lot like my co-host here. And I always say, hey, I think the smartest people in my that I know are, they ask lots of questions about stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You're kind of curious, even like you've asked me about when I played. And that's like the most boring subject ever. But you just have that kind of personality. And like I said, typically the smartest people I know ask lots of questions. That seems like
For sure. No, I wasn't the smartest person in school, but, you know, you learn stuff from asking questions about people and just the relationships that you build with your teammates. And I'm a creative and curious person when it comes to football. I like to be able to learn about, you know, what the defense is doing. Like, like on their side of the ball, and not necessarily like the coverage that they may be playing, but the techniques and like their rules to how they're doing it. They're like almost the second nature things. So yeah, I'm a curious person. That's my personality, and I'm a people person, and I like to have fun. I like to enjoy myself. YOLO. You only have one life. Might as well enjoy it.
Do you have a go-to guy, the vet on the team that you'll ask questions to? Is it the coaching staff? Who's your go-to?
I like going to like Jay Reed or like Shenna or DeMarcus Lawrence, like those guys that play on the other side of the ball. And like D-Law is a great example because he's been in the league for a long time, and asking them questions about the things that they're doing or how they're playing whatever I might be doing. And, those are really good conversations to have with guys that have been in the league for a long time and that you're going up against.
Oh, yeah. It starts with Jay Reed. I love that. I love your talking to him.
Sure.
What are you doing on your time off, AJ? What are you interested in?
Shoot, no time off right now. But in the off season, kind of what I said about being creative, I like to, expand. I am curious. I like to expand my horizons and just indulge in whatever I can, off the field in terms of like, music and just, whatever it might be. But also I like to keep to myself on some outside the building too. Like I kind of just go home and turn the switch off because I am such an energetic person when I'm in the building and at football that like when I get away, like don't text, don't call. I'm turning the switch off.
What kind of music are you listening to?
Everything. Classic rock, country, rap, old rap, some EDM maybe. I like jazz music. Yeah, I can do literally anything.
You're all over the map.
Yeah, I change it up.
All right.
They had some classic rock going in the stadium yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Well, they play Styx all the time. They play Renegade as like their
exactly
pipe song or whatever out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, what was I know you're not going up against him individually, but just seeing DK out there playing for the opposing team, was that odd? I don't know if you guys were tight when he was here before, but what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously DK was a staple here in Seattle for a long time. I was only with him for 1 year, and you kind of just know that, that's how some of the things in the league work. So it's definitely different to see him over there on the other side. Wish him nothing but success. But yeah, it was different, but it's part of the league.
Well, AJ, congrats on a great win out there. The fans are fired up, and I would imagine you guys are as well. And hopefully it keeps going. We really appreciate you taking the time as always, and look forward to talking to you down the road.
For sure, appreciate you guys.
There you go. There's AJ Barner. If you guys missed any part of that conversation, you can find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Just click the podcast tab, scroll down to our picture, click on that, and it'll be right there waiting for you. And don't forget, you can just click subscribe and never worry about it again. Just shows up for you. It's totally free. It's the right price. It's a beautiful thing.
Tell you what, even the texters are coming up with some ideas. I like this one. The barnyard.
The barn.
Get it?
But
you pick up a yard.
Yeah.
You need a yard.
It's not bad.
Get it, Bob?
I do get it.
And there's 100 yards on the field.
Tell me again.
Remember that? I don't know. He called it barn push, I believe.
Yeah, that's no good. You should call the Seahawks push move either the tidal wave or the tsunami.
I'll tell you what. That's pretty weird that they picked him. I mean, I wonder what it was about him. I don't want to ask him directly why you, but it's kind of funny. I mean, I guess he.
Yeah, how
many people can take a snap? I mean, I've never taken a snap ever in my life, and
yeah, maybe it's a ball security thing, which is why you wouldn't have a big defensive lineman in there doing it. I don't know. It's interesting. Or maybe
kind of an odd choice.
Why wouldn't you bring maybe Milroe out for something like that?
Yeah. Well, I don't think he was active. Was he yesterday, or was he?
Was he inactive?
Or 2 days
ago? I don't know. He was active for game one.
He was. But I'm not sure. It's kind of interesting that that he somehow was a candidate for that. I should have asked him. I'll ask him next time. But did he go and say, "Hey, I want to do this," or had he done it before, or whatever?
Did Darnold say, "I don't want to do this"?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, and you saw that that push in the back that Charbonnet gave him, because the first one, I mean, he got kind of stood up, and then Charbonnet came and shoved him in the back. I would think that wouldn't feel great. I mean, if you're expecting it, it's one thing.
You can kind of brace for it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get whiplash.
Exactly.
Let's see. 206 said Barnyard is really good.
Yeah.
425 said Puget Pounder. It's kind of funny.
Remember we had the grunge plunge. Somebody
grunge plunge.
said that.
Yeah.
That was a few years ago.
The Barn Burner, says the 253. All right, keep them coming. We'll see. See what comes out. Dave
With
can
our
pass it along
texters,
to him.
yeah, and with our texters, I mean, you might get 1 out of 3,000, and that's good, actually.
That'll inspire him, Dave. Yeah. That'll inspire the creative juices to flow. Meanwhile, other things going on around the NFL as I look up at the screen when we're here. They're cataloging all of the injuries that are going on, and so far it's quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are the ones that are getting hurt out of the gates. You've got Joe Burrow, who suffered a turf toe injury. He's out at least 3 months. Jake Browning is his backup. J.J. McCarthy, his ankle is injured. He's out this week. Carson Wentz is his backup. Brock Purdy got hurt against the Seahawks. Yeah. He's got a turf toe. Boy, a turf toe is a thing now. It's like the oblique. It's the new hip injury.
I'll tell you what, man. I had turf toe. It occurred in a playoff game, and I don't know that I could have played the next. Well,
how did you do it?
I was laying on the ground. My foot was like, my toes were pointed down. It was after a tackle, and somebody landed on top of it, and so it just pushed my big toe back.
Because some guys get it from like cutting and planting, right? Like they'll plant and.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to. All you have to do is like basically irritate that knuckle or whatever down in your big toe. But oh my God, it's painful.
Well, I remember Bennett had it. Michael Bennett was playing with it. And I remember seeing his toe in the locker room, going, "Ugh."
Yeah, you got to get it shot up and everything. Because
it sounds minor. Oh, I got turf toe. It sounds like you got an owie. It's bad.
They need to make a more badass name for that, not just turf toe.
Yeah, because it sounds very minor, but when you see it, the Bennett one is because I've never had it. I hadn't really seen it until I saw Bennett's foot, and that did not look pretty at all.
Like I said, it happened in a playoff game, so we lost. It was against Cincinnati in '88, and then, but I remember the next night, like just the weight of a sheet on your toe would light it up, man. So that's definitely one you gotta get shot up. But
so 2 of your quarterbacks that are dealing with a turf toe, Brock Purdy and Joe Burrow. Burrow's obviously much more significant. I just saw this is saying Purdy likely out. I just saw a crawl up there saying he's trending toward playing this week. So we'll see what goes on with Purdy. Jaden Daniels, a knee sprain. His backup is Marcus Mariota, who, boy, it feels like he's been around for an eternity now.
I know.
Justin Fields, he's dealing with a concussion. Tyrod Taylor is his backup. So we're seeing the importance of the backup quarterback is coming into play very, very early in the season.
Yeah, and I saw this morning, and they were talking about, I mean, as much as people complain about all of the rules of hitting a quarterback, this is the result of it. I'm like, okay, but like, come on, let's not overreact with rule. And really, if you look at all of them, the one Justin Fields, that was one where he had a concussion because he was sacked by, I think it was Joey Bosa with the Bills, and he fell back and his head whipped and hit. And I'm like, I don't think there's any way you could have called any kind of penalty, or there could have been any kind of rule that would have avoided that.
Well, yeah.
It was a perfectly fine tackle.
None of these looked untoward. None of them looked like, oh, wow, they gotta adjust a rule. I don't think anybody's – I think, at least from what I've seen, people are acknowledging, wow, there's a rash of injuries to starting quarterbacks, but I haven't heard anybody saying, hey, these rules.
Well, this morning on the NFL Network, they were like going through, like, I know people get annoyed by this and everything, but every last little rule. And I'm like, okay, well, let's not. And first of all, I went through and looked at all of them, and the only one where there was a concussion that maybe could have been a penalty called was the one with Justin Fields. All the rest of them, I mean, turf toe, whatever. What are you going to do? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just kind of hit me a little bit like, yeah, the quarterbacks, when they go down, I mean, it's not going to be great to watch Jake Browning and Carson Wentz and Mac Jones and all that. But yeah, it just seems like they tend to overreact at times. But I'll tell you what, it also made me start to think about, like, what if Darnold gets injured? I got to say, I feel pretty good about Drew Lock, and then you could. I don't really want to imagine it, but like if you were to put Drew Lock in there and then kind of sprinkle in a little bit with Jalen Milroe and get him a little bit more involved, that might be a pretty good combination. I feel pretty good about the backup quarterback situation.
I mean, we'll see what, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but Drew looked really good every time we saw him out there at practice and even in the preseason. He's decidedly more athletic than I think you realize until you really focus in on him and watch what he does, and he's got a good arm.
He's like the best athlete on the team.
Yeah, he's
basketball and everything
really
else.
Athletic. So, look, does that mean he's going to be a great quarterback? No, but it certainly doesn't hurt, and he looked really good as far as his accuracy. He's got arm talent, Dave.
Yes.
So, look, is he better than Darnold? I don't know that. I would assume Mike McDonald would, if that were the case. Drew Lock could be playing regardless of what they signed Sam Darnold to. So hopefully we don't have to find out. But what this does is emphasize just how crucial that backup is. As much as we don't talk about them unless they get thrown in there, you don't even really give it much thought. Now you're seeing, oh, wow, so they got that guy. Oh, geez.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I went this morning when I saw all of those. I didn't realize that, there was that many. But, I started thinking about it going, we like Drew Lock. And he talked about working on his footwork this year and how much better that was for him. And he'd never done that before. And, and then you sprinkle in a little bit of Milroe, who everybody loves. And, he's got all kinds of different dynamic things he could do. I certainly don't want Sam Darnold going down anytime soon, but still, it's kind of nice to be comfortable with if that does happen for a week or two.
Yeah, it's surprising how much attrition there is this early in the season to starting quarterbacks. Whether it's bad luck or, none of it looked like, wow, you got to regulate, you got to do something because this is unsustainable. But we'll see what they do. Meanwhile, you got the Mariners, you got the Royals coming up, and hopefully we're talking about a win in Game 1. Get off to a good start. That's what I'm looking for here. That's going to do it for us. Our thanks to A.J. Barner, who joined us on the program. If you missed anything from today's show or any day, just find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Got the Mariners pregame show coming your way next. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here with Wyman and Bob.
They're baseball's hottest team.
Cal Raleigh will score. Here comes Julio. He's racing home around third. He's going to score standing. 2 more on the board for the Mariners.
Winners of 9 in a row.
Strike 3 called. Got him. Fire. George Kirby, strikeout number 13.
Up next, the first of 3 in Kansas City. Tonight, first pitch at 4:40. Pregame at 3:30.
Everybody on their feet.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Arm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailarm.com today.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Mariners fans, it's time to bring the noise to T-Mobile Park. This lineup is loaded up and locked in. From every moonshot.
Now Raleigh obliterates this. How far? Way back there.
To every how in the world did he catch that moment?
And Julio makes the catch. No fly zone in full effect.
Be here as the squad shuts the door and lights the W.
Munoz looking for the final out. Here's the stretch, and the strike 3 called, and the ball game is over.
This is our house.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Be here for the stretch run at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners' final homestand of the regular season starts with 3 straight value games against the Rockies, September 23rd to 25th. Then don't miss a star-studded showdown against Ohtani and the defending World Series champion Dodgers, September 26th to 28th. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99. And we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey man, gaining weight, dragging throughout the day, losing your drive? It could be your testosterone. The team at Revive Men's Health Washington gets men back on track with the energy and drive they've been missing. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations, and witness to hundreds of success stories.
I've seen guys come in worn out, discouraged, and just not themselves. A few months into treatment, they're standing taller, speaking with more confidence. It's like watching someone come back to life, like a light switch gets turned back on. The spouse says, "Thank you, I really have my partner back, better than before." That's the moment it all clicks for me, and that's why I do what I do.
Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has helped more than 120,000 men regain their energy and drive. Start your story today with an in-clinic visit or a secure video appointment. Call 206-529-1111 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 206-529-1111 or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
One of the greatest bands in rock history, The Who, present The Song Is Over, the North American Farewell Tour. See Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey, The Who, live in Seattle, performing at Climate Pledge Arena September 25th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. The Who, for the very last time. The song is over. For more, visit thewho.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything